Hang on. Hang on one sec, guys. Hang on. Yep. Sorry about that, guys. Right. Hey, guys. How's it going? Of course, Football Fan at 148 here. Of course, back with another stream for you. And today, guys, of course, as you can see, of course, I am here. And, of course, guys, I am live. And, of course, I'm going to be... the reason why I'm live, guys, is because I'm going to be doing, of course, the FA Cup first round draw predictions. Of course, we just got a little over an hour before, indeed, the draw actually is supposed to take place. Of course, before the before the Worthing versus Forest Green fixture, of course, takes place. So, but anyway, of course, I've got things all set up. So I've got everything set up now. So as you can see, I've got it right there. Bang on a minute. I'm just going to see if I can try and resort that out a bit. All right, so let's try that. All right, there we go. So indeed, guys. So because as you can see, I've got the wheel of names right there. Pretty much got everything all set up and ready to go. So, let's indeed get started, shall we? But indeed, just a reminder of the teams, ladies and gentlemen. We've got number 1, Accrington Stanley. 2, AFC Wimbledon. 3, Barnet. 4, Barnsley. 5, Barrow. 6, Blackpool. 7, Bolton Wanderers. 8, Bradford City. 9, Bristol Rovers. 10, Bromley. 11, Burton Albion. 12, Cambridge United. 13, Cardiff City. 14, Cheltenham Town. 15, Chesterfield. 16, Colchester United. 17, Crawley Town. 18, Crewe Alexandra. 19, Doncaster Rovers. 20, Exeter City. 21, Fleetwood Town. 22, Gillingham. 23, Grimsby Town. 24, Harrogate Town. 25, Huddersfield Town. 26, Leyton Orient. 27, Lincoln City. 28, Luton Town. 29, Mansfield Town. 30, MK Dons, or Milton Keynes Dons, as many others say. 31, Newport County. 32, Northampton Town. 33, Notts County. 34, Oldham Athletic. 35, Peterborough United. 36, Plymouth Argyle. 37, Port Vale. 38, of course, the Royals and my local team, Reading. 39, Rotherham United. 40, Salford City. 41, Shrewsbury Town. Stevenage, of course, number 42. 43, Stockport County. 44, Swindon Town. 45, Tranmere Rovers. 46, Walsall. 47, Wigan Athletic. 48, Wycombe Wanderers. 49, AFC Telford United. 50, Macclesfield. 51, Gainsborough Trinity or Hartlepool United. 52, Carlisle United. 53, York City. 54, Buxton. 55, Morecambe or Chester. 56, South Sheffield. 56, South Shields. 57, Tamworth. 58, Scunthorpe United. 59, Gateshead. 60, Spennymoor Town. 61, Halifax Town. 62, Altrincham or Harborough Town. 63, Worthing or Forest Green Rovers. 64, Malden and Tiptree. 65, Woking or Brackley Town. 66, Wealdstone. 67, Slough Town. 68, Boreham Wood. 69, Eastleigh. 70, Southend United. 71, Ebbsfleet United. 72, Braintree Town. 73, Chatham Town. 74, Weston-super-Mare. 75, Hemel Hempstead Town. 76, Banbury United or St Albans City. 77, Chelmsford City. 78, AFC Tottenham or Truro City. 79, Aldershot Town. And finally, 80, Farnham Town or Slough United. Now, of course, those games, ladies and gentlemen, that I just mentioned about, of course, saying or, of course, indeed, don't, of course, the games between Harbour Trinity or Hartlepool United. Of course, that game indeed will be going to a replay, and also of course the other games they'll be going to a replay. Of course, will be Altrincham Town or Harbour. Will be of course Altrincham Town, Harbour Town. No, will be Altrincham, Harbour Town, Woking or Brackley, Banbury United or St Albans City, AFC Totton or Truro City, and Farnham Town, Slough Town. Those games, Sutton United. Sorry, those games indeed will be going to a replay. Now, of course, number 63, Worthing or Forest Green Rovers. Of course, that game is going to be played later on tonight. So indeed, we'll find out which of those sides will indeed, of course, be, of course, in the first round proper. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, let's indeed, of course, crack on, shall we? Here we go. Here we go. Let's get things started. The first team indeed going to be out of the hat is going to be an EFL team, and it will be Walsall. Oh, Walsall, interesting tie there, because the first of the EFL teams out, and Walsall will be hosting a fellow EFL side, of course, in number 25, Huddersfield Town. So Huddersfield Town, of course, travelling to Walsall. So Walsall versus Huddersfield Town. That is indeed the first one. Okay, next one out will be game. Of course, it will be Gainsborough Trinity. Gainsborough Trinity or Hartlepool United. Yeah, so Gainsborough Trinity or Hartlepool United. Gainsborough Trinity or Hartlepool United. Of course, that game indeed, of course, will be going to a replay. And travelling to either Gainsborough or Hartlepool will be Southend United. Southend United, indeed, the visitors, of course, to either Gainsborough or Hartlepool. Okay, next one up is an EFL side, of course, indeed it being Port Vale. Of course, managed by, of course, Darren Clark. Okay, and travelling to Port Vale will be it's going to be a non-league side in Braintree Town, number 72, Braintree Town. So Port Vale versus Braintree Town. Okay, next one up will be another non-league side, and it will be Wealdstone. Yeah, it'll be Wealdstone. And Wealdstone will be facing, it looks like it'll be a side from the EFL No, it won't actually. Beside from, of course, the non-league, and indeed they'll be taking on, of course, Carlisle United. So Carlisle United, of course, travelling to Wealdstone. Of course, that'll be a long journey for Carlisle. Of course, with them right up the other end of the country. Okay, this line we're getting an EFL side. And of course, it will be, of course, number 42, Stevenage. Of course, Stevenage have had a cracking start to the season. Of course, they're, of course, currently, of course, right up in the automatic promotion places at this point in League One. So, yeah. Yeah, of course, Stevenage indeed right now. Of course, they are currently Stevenage, of course, currently Stevenage are currently top of League One right now. So indeed, Stevenage really have had a cracking start to the season. And Stevenage will be facing a fellow EFL side in, of course, Burton Albion. So indeed, of course, Burton Albion, although they haven't had a great start to the season, because they're right down in the relegation places of Burton Albion. So indeed, not the greatest start of the season for them. And next up will be, of course, number 44, Swindon Town. Yes, Swindon Town indeed had a good start to the season so far, because Swindon. And Swindon will be facing, of course, from the non-league. They'll be facing, of course, Chatham Town. Yeah, indeed, Chatham Town. Of course, the visitors to the county ground. Of course, next up is, of course, number 56, South Shields. Yes, the South Shields, of course, there. And South Shields indeed will be facing. They'll be taking on number 59, Gateshead. Of course, an all non-league affair there. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, yeah, next up, of course, number 19, Doncaster Rovers. Who indeed just suffered a hefty defeat, of course, at the weekend, a 4-0 defeat to Leyton Orient. And Doncaster Rovers will be welcoming non-league side in AFC Telford United. Yeah, so Doncaster Rovers welcoming Telford United, of course, to the Keep Moat Stadium. And next up, of course, is of course number 3, Barnet. Yeah, Barnet, of course. Sorry, guys, really just stuffed up with a cold, really. Yeah, but anyway, Barnet, of course, of the National League, they will be faced. Are they National League or are they non-league? I don't know with Barnet. I mean, but anyway, of course, they'll be taking on Macclesfield. So yeah, Barnet versus Macclesfield. Okay, so here we go. Next up, we have got Plymouth Argyle. Of course, Plymouth Argyle. Have had a bit of an interesting start to the season. I mean, they've done well in certain games, but they haven't done well in others. So yeah, but number 36, Plymouth Argyle, and indeed they'll be looking for a new manager now. Of course, after Jack Wilshere, of course, left to join their rivals, of course, Luton Town. And speaking of Luton, of course, that's who they're going to be facing. Of course, Luton Town. Luton Town, of course, did have had a really good start of the season, but have really sort of stumbled, of course, recently. Really, of course, yeah, they really haven't had a great last few games. So, yeah, but anyway, of course, next up, of course, is going to be number 58, Scunthorpe United. Of course, Scunthorpe, a team we played on many occasions. But anyway, Scunthorpe, of course, they will be taking on they'll be, of course, facing number 79, Aldershot Town. Yeah, an all non-league affair there, taking place at Scunthorpe. Okay, we got an EFL team out now, and that will be, of course, Colchester United. Oh, my ears are blocked there. Yep. Anyway, Colchester United, of course, number 16, and Colchester United will be facing. They'll be taking on non-league opponents, number 60, Spennymoor Town. So yeah, Spennymoor Town, of course, heading to Colchester. And next up, of course, is number 23, Grimsby Town. Right. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, as I say. So I don't know if indeed you heard me. Of course, there at the moment. Let me just switch off the camera and then switch it back on. Hang on. Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on with this camera, but indeed something's up with it. Hang on a minute. Let me just switch it. Let me just turn it off. Yeah, I'm just trying to sort out the issue here. I don't know what the heck this issue is here, guys. Really, I don't. Yeah, I really don't know what the issue is here, but sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the heck the issue is, but indeed, of course, we got another team out, of course, number 5, Barrow. So, yeah, of course, Barrow, indeed, out there. Yeah, and Barrow will be facing... They'll be facing, of course, they'll be facing League 2 opposition. Near Rovers. Yes, the Barrow versus Tranmere Rovers. I don't know what the heck's going on here. Yeah, guys, so I am sorry about this, but I have no idea what the heck's going on. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on at the moment, guys. Really, I don't. I have absolutely no clue what's happening. I just really can. I just have to apologize, really. And of course, also, guys, indeed, I will have to apologize, of course, again, because, of course, I'm not sure if indeed with some of the teams I said, indeed, I'm not sure if indeed you guys heard me. So if you did, of course, if you did hear me, that's fine. But if you didn't hear me, of course, I really do apologize. It's totally out of my control, this. I'm getting an absolute nightmare of course, the situation right here at the moment. I really don't know what's going on with my ruddy camera. Yeah, indeed, it's like really, of course, things that are right out of my hands at the moment. So, yeah, I just really have to apologize, of course, in advance. I don't know what the hell's going on with my cameras today. Really don't. I have no clue. But anyway, I'm just gonna crack on with this best as I can, guys. So yeah. But anyway, next team out, of course, will be, of course, number 47, Wigan Athletic. Of course, Wigan Athletic, of course, former Premier League side and former winners of this competition, I might add, of course, beating Manchester City in the final at Wembley back in 2013. And Wigan Athletic will be welcoming Eastleigh, of course, to the DW Stadium. Okay, and next up will be, of course, non-league side, of course, number 34, Oldham Athletic. Yeah, Oldham Athletic, of course. Hang on, Oldham League 1. Hang on. Hey, Google, what league are Oldham Athletic in?
Oldham Athletic plays in the National League.
Oh, so they are National League. Right, they are non-league, yeah. just clarifying, guys, just briefly. I was just clarifying something there. So, yeah. But anyway, of course, Oldham Athletic indeed will be taking on, of course, number 14, of course, Cheltenham Town. We've had a pretty rotten start to league. Start to, of course, yeah, pretty rotten, of course, start to their season. Okay, 30 teams left, ladies and gentlemen. And one of them coming out, of course, is number 43, Stockport County. Yeah, Stockport County, of course, number 43. And Stockport County will be welcoming number 75, Hemel Hempstead. I think it's Hemel Hempstead Town. Oh, Hemel Hempstead. Hemel Hempstead Town. Hemel Hempstead Town. There's the Stockport County versus Hemel Hempstead Town. Okay, next up will be, of course, number 32, Northampton Town. So Northampton Town. Northampton Town, of course, will be welcoming, of course, the Sixfields. They'll be welcoming number 22 and League 2 opponents, Gillingham. Yep. So it's Northampton versus Gillingham there, because the League 1 versus League 2 clash there. And next one out, of course, is Woking or Brackley Town. Yeah, Woking or Brackley Town. Of course, those two indeed are going to have to sort this out. Courtesy or a replay. So indeed, of course, Woking or Brackley Town. Of course, that game indeed will be going to a replay. And the winners of that one will be welcoming fellow non-league opposition in Tamworth. So, yeah, of course, Tamworth heading to either Woking or Brackley Town. Okay, and the next team out, of course, will be, of course, number 2, AFC Wimbledon. AFC Wimbledon, of course, winners of this competition. Yeah, of course, they're former winners of this competition at AFC Wimbledon. And of course, they'll be taking on number 21, Fleetwood Town of League 2. Yeah, another League 1 versus League 2 clash there. Okay, we've got 22 teams left, ladies and gentlemen. And one of them, of course, is number 6, Blackpool. They really haven't had a great start to the season of Blackpool. Of course, indeed, poor start to the season, of course, has led to them, of course, sacking experienced manager, of course, Steve Bruce. And travelling to Blackpool will be League 2 side Cambridge United. course, Cambridge United, indeed, in this competition, because they produced a big shock in this competition, of course, knocking out Newcastle United a while back. And of course, next up, of course, is number 76, Banbury. Yeah, Banbury United or St Albans City. Of course, that's another game that indeed is going to have to be settled via a replay. And travelling to either Banbury or St Albans will be, of course, number 26, Leyton Orient. Of course, Leyton Orient, who got a big win, of course, of the weekend, beating Doncaster Rovers by 4-0 to end their losing streak. And next team out is, of course, number 62, Altrincham Town. Altrincham or Harborough Town. Of course, that is another game that will have to be settled via a replay. And taking on either Altrincham or Harborough Town will be number 39 or Rotherham United. Oh, that'll be a tricky one. That'll be a tricky tie for either Altrincham or Harborough. Okay, next out, of course, will be an EFL team, of course, in Accrington Stanley. Yeah, because Accrington Stanley, of course, they will be taking on fellow, of course, EFL opposition in Bromley. Yeah, so an all EFL tie there. Of course, an all League Two one. All League Two tie there. So I wonder if we can get the camera out there. Nope, not. Okay. Anyway, next out, of course, is Notts County of League Two. And indeed, travelling to Notts County will be number 27, Lincoln City. Of course, Lincoln City, they've had a pretty strong start to the season so far. So, of course, guys, just a reminder that, of course, the team's still in there. We've got number 4, Barnsley, number 8, Bradford City, number 9, Bristol Rovers, number 15, Chesterfield, number 29, Mansfield Town, number 30, MK Dons, number 35, Peterborough United, number 4, Salford City, number 61, Halifax Town, number 67, Slough Town, number 74, Weston-super-Mare, and number 77, Chelmsford City. Those are the 12 teams that are still in the hat at the moment. And one of them has actually just been drawn, of course, in number 77. Chelmsford in Chelmsford City. They've got a home tie. And indeed, number 77, Chelmsford City, will be taking on, of course, Bradford City. Of course, Bradford City, of course, currently second in League Two. I meant in League One right now. And Bradford will be, and the next tie out, is, of course, non-league opposition, of course, in AFC Halifax Town. And Halifax Town will be facing number 4, Barnsley. So Barnsley, of course, travelling to AFC Halifax Town. And next out the hat will be, of course, number 30, MK Dons. Yeah, Milton Keynes Dons, of course, out the hat because number 30. And MK Dons will be facing, they'll be taking on number 35, Peterborough United. Peterborough United. So MK Dons versus Peterborough United there. Okay, guys, indeed, we're coming to the conclusion of this draw now. And next out, of course, is number 74, Western Supermare. And Western Supermare will be welcoming. They'll be welcoming number 29, Mansfield Town. Yeah, so they'll be welcoming Mansfield Town there. Okay, next out, of course, is number 15, Chesterfield. Yeah, so Chesterfield will be welcoming. They'll be welcoming number 9, Bristol Rovers. This means indeed that we've got 2 teams left in there. And of course, it will be Slough Town, and of course they will be taking on, of course, the only team left in the draw, and that will be number 40, Salford City. Whew. And there we go, guys. And that is indeed, of course, the draw all done and dusted. So, so guys, indeed, that is, of course, the draw all done. So, of course, indeed, that is the draw all done and dusted. Of course, let me just remind you of the ties, indeed, that we're looking at. Of course, we have got, of course, Walsall versus Huddersfield Town. Of course, Gainsborough Trinity or Hartlepool United versus Southend United. Port Vale versus Braintree Town. Wilston versus Carlisle United. Stevenage versus Burton Albion. Swindon versus Chatham Town. South Shields versus Gateshead. Doncaster Rovers versus AFC Telford United. Barnet versus Mansfield versus Macclesfield. Plymouth Argyle versus Luton Town. Scunthorpe United versus Aldershot Town. Colchester United versus Spennymoor Town. Of course, Spennymoor Town, of course, got indeed a big test for them, of course, in the form of Colchester. Grimsby Town, of course, they'll be welcoming York City. Of course, Crewe Alexandra, of course, they'll be facing the winners, of course, of that FA Cup replay match, of course, between AFC Tottenham and Truro City. Of course, indeed, AFC Tottenham or Truro City will be welcoming Crewe Alexandra. Moulton and Tiptree, of course, they'll be facing Boreham Wood. Crawley Town versus Bolton Wanderers. Cardiff City versus Ebbsfleet United. Reading, of course, they'll be welcoming either Morecambe or Chester. Indeed, of course, we'll see who indeed will be the team that will be facing, of course, former FA Cup semi-finalists Reading, of course, at the SCL Stadium. Of course, indeed, that game between Morecambe and Chester indeed has to be settled via replay. And of course, we got Newport County versus Worthing or Forest Green Rovers. Of course, that match indeed takes place later on tonight. Of course, Worthing versus Forest Green Rovers, that's later on tonight. We got Exeter City versus Harrogate Town. Farnham or Sutton, of course, that indeed the winners of that one, of course, will be taking on Wycombe Wanderers. Of course, Farnham versus Sutton Town. Indeed, that needs to be settled via replay. We got Shrewsbury Town versus Buxton. Barrow versus Tranmere Rovers. Of course, non-league Eastleigh. Of course, they'll be travelling, of course, the former FA Cup winners, Wigan Athletic. Oldham Athletic, they'll be welcoming Cheltenham Town. Stockport County, they'll be taking on Hemel Hempstead Town. Northampton Town, of course, they'll be welcoming League Two side Gillingham. Of course, the winners of the Woking or Brackley Town game, of course, that needs to be settled via replay. Will be taking on fellow non-league opposition in Tamworth. AFC Wimbledon, of course, former winners, they'll be taking on Fleetwood Town. Blackpool, of course, they'll be taking on Cambridge United. Of course, the winners of Banbury United or St Albans City will be taking on Leyton Orient. And the same thing, of course, for Altrincham or Harbour Town. Of course, the winners of that one will take on Rotherham United. Of course, Accrington Stanley, of course, they welcome fellow League Two side Bromley. Notts County, of course, they take on high-flying Lincoln City. Of course, Chelmsford City, of course, they welcome League One automatic hopefuls Bradford City. Barnsley, of course, they travel to Halifax Town. Of course, MK Dons, of course, they welcome Peterborough United. Mansfield Town, of course, they travel to Weston-super-Mare. Of course, we've got, of course, an all League Two tie between Chesterfield and Bristol Rovers. And, of course, Slough Town, they'll be welcoming Salford City, of course, they'll be welcoming Salford City. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, of course, all those games indeed will be taking place on the weekend of the 1st and 2nd of November. So, yeah, indeed, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have indeed enjoyed the draw. Of course, my apologies again, indeed, for any technical difficulties indeed you've had to experience, of course, while doing this draw. So, yeah, of course, my apologies there. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so yeah, that's it from me. Of course, indeed. Of course, guys, please do let me know, of course, in the comments, indeed, what you think about this. Of course, who do you think your team is going to be facing in the first round? And so, yeah, of course, please do let me know. And also, guys, please do drop a like and also subscribe to the channel as well. And anyway, guys, yeah, thank you all very much for watching. And, of course, I'll see you guys in the next stream. This is Football Fan 148 signing off.